everyone. This vlog is titled as Birth, Death and the Cycle of the Same, which should be celebrated. This vlog is being done in reference of what I said on the topic of birthday celebrations as a part of the Guru Purnima vlog I did last week. Few people informally and confidentially said or requested to have more perspectives over this. So here is some perspectives again in some brief. Life, birth and death, they are all interconnected, they have different dimensions. They do not function in the same dimensions. We always mistaken birth for life. Life is a bigger phenomena than birth and death. Because when we are referring birth and death, we are only referring to a life dimension which takes birth in the way we can understand, perceive or know, and the same dies after a certain period of time, which is usually on the physical dimension only. Life is a very, very huge phenomena. For sure, there can be a definite possibility that life is the very nature of existence. Even a stone can be alive, even a crystal can be alive, even a glass or a tube light or a chair or a table can be alive because it has molecules and atom in it, which has fundamental levels of energy, and energy moves, so it is moving. So when we say if movement equals to life, we are probably having a wrong definition or wrong concept which we are processing. Life can be anything which moves. Brighter way, darker way, that's a different ball game. But if it moves, it might have a certain dimension of life in it. Now when we come to birth and death, we only understand birth and death in reference of human birth and death. We do not understand animal birth and death, and we do not understand other birth and deaths as well. So, when we talk about birth and death and the celebration of birthdays are like, see, when we take birth, I don't know, and I would welcome anybody who can vouch themselves saying that they knew when, where, what time, which place they are going to take birth. So in one way we are saying is that when we take birth, it is actually happening. We do not have an input. We do not have any involvement in choosing the birth until and unless we become enlightened or until and unless we become so conscious. Before that, we taking birth has no involvement from our end. If anybody remembers, I would be more than happy to meet them. Same goes for death. Nobody would be knowing when they would die, apart from enlightened people or apart from people who are so conscious that they know when they are going to leave their physical dimension. So there are these two things which are happening, which we are not choosing, which we are not involved with. And in between these two things, we are celebrating it. For what? God knows. Probably we all celebrate because we are conditioned to celebrate. A child watches their parents celebrate the child's birthday. So the child understands, develops a concept that the birthday is to be celebrated. The same thing may happen in a different way in a different culture. A lot of culture mourn to death. So whenever there is a death, people are mourning with pain. There are also cultures, or rather religions or demographic places who do not mourn in death. They rather celebrate death. There are evidence that there are cultures, there are demographic places, there are sets of population who experience grief when somebody dies in their family. And there are cultures who experience sickness when somebody dies in their family. All of these are happening because of our conditioning, because of how we are learning things about it, which is fundamentally nothing. We are only running a program. We are only processing rules and responsibilities and accountabilities in a mechanical way. We are not even focused or alert over it. Birth and death should be celebrated with that alertness, with that attentiveness that a consciousness has come to this physical body. That should be the understanding of taking birth. And when there is a death, the consciousness is moving from this body, physical body. That should be the understanding. Only then celebrating birth and death makes sense. Apart, we are celebrating something which we do not have involvement with. It is convenient. Hope it makes sense. Take care.